Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. Everybody looks so different with these masks. It's hard to see facial expressions. Is it okay? Decker, we good? All right, good. All right. Okay, a couple of introductions first. My name is Jim French, high school principal, and so happy to be here with you today. Excited. We are going to be recording and also live streaming tonight's event, so you can go back and see it at the PPS YouTube site, so you can go back and look, replay, rewind, do as you wish, and see those moments again. So it will be available for you as well. Also, another person that's going to be working with us and talking to you tonight is going to be Miss Christy Rath, our NHS advisor. So you'll hear from her in a minute. And before we get things going, I would like to have us all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance to get things moving tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. All right. Well, I do want to say a big thank you because this has been, obviously we've dealt with a lot this past 14, 15 months, but I want to give a special shout out to Mrs. Christy Rath. She picked up being the advisor mid-year after we had a staff change. She has been on it. She is out communicating, emailing, trying to get things organized, trying to get things going. It has been a bit of a struggle because of everything else happening, but I'm so glad that she took over this position because she's going to build a nice group. We're going to have opportunities kind of getting momentum into next year, and excited to have her leadership with this group, and just can't say enough about what she's done to make this possible. So a big thank you to Ms. Christy Rath. Thank you. Also, just something that I think is important for us to kind of reflect on and think about is that why are we here? You know, we want to talk a little bit about National Honor Society. We want to talk about what the tenets are of National Honor Society. And Abby and Olivia are going to be saying a little bit more about what those are. But I wanted to just take a few seconds and talk about two of them that I think are really kind of critical in this day and age. And the first one's character. And when we talk about character, it's funny because there's this trustworthiness is kind of a part of character. And I want to share just a little story, which I think is kind of funny because I learned about trustworthiness my 10th grade year in high school. Well, I happened to live in a small town, and back in the, it would have been early 80s, back at that time, you know, my basketball coach was 3 doors down. So I would go and get the keys to the gym. And we would go in, and we'd shoot hoops, we'd get guys in there, we'd play basketball, we'd have fun. And we really had a great opportunity, and it was really a fantastic thing, because you weren't playing at the park down in the rain or anything else. You were in the gym, the big gym. So, well, one time we were there, and me and a couple of buddies, and we found that, you know, those, the kind of like the springboards that you used to have back in the old day that you could run and jump on and then jump up? Well, we found one of those. And so in the gym, we had it set up. And again, mind you, this is before cameras. This is before the cell phone cameras. So we found a little 35 millimeter camera. So we were going and jumping off of that springboard and dunking the basketball. Now, we were having a great time. All great until my neighbor, the coach, walked in. And then it was a whole nother story. At that point in time, I learned that there's this trustworthiness that has to be earned. He had, well, you know, back in that day, we could run a lot. And we ran a lot when things didn't go quite right. We ran a lot. But it was something that I think has been burned into me, that there's a trustworthiness. When somebody bestows on you an opportunity to take advantage and do something, you earn that trust by doing it correctly, by taking care of it and making sure that you earn their trust. And that was a great lesson that I learned back in my sophomore year. So when you talk about another part of character, it's about respect. You know, in character, do you respect yourself? Do you respect others? Do you treat them as such? You know, character is so many ways, it defines who we are and what we do, and respect is a big part of that. And, you know, I used to remember the saying, treat others as you wish to be treated, right? It's about that respect. Well, there was another thing that fairness kind of comes to mind when we talk about character. And it was funny, I can remember being a young kid, again, a little story. I look back at it now because you know how you have those snapshots that take you back in time? There was this opportunity where I was like 2 and my sister was 4. And we were sitting in the sandbox and we were having a good time. I don't know what we were doing, but she had the bag of chips. And so what I remember is that out would come 1 chip given to me, and then 3, 4, 5 for her. She happened to be 2 years older. I'm much bigger than her now, but it didn't matter then. So 1 chip to me, 3 or 4 to her. And I was like, man, this is not fair. But what we did is we learned how to be fair as part of growing up. We learned what was fair through our experiences. And that helps define, again, our character. You know, and I think the other piece that I think is big in character is about caring for others. How do you care for others? Do you show them the care and compassion that we want to see in this world today? Do you give to them like you would want to be given to? Caring is a huge part of defining who we are because it defines how our relationship is with the others around us. So when we talk about character, there's a lot of components. But so much of it comes down to a big part of our makeup. And I look at it like this. Do the right thing when nobody's watching, right? Treat others with respect. Be trustworthy and have a fair approach with others and care about others. That's what we're looking for. The last part of what I wanted to kind of just say a few words on was service. And this is a service organization. This is a service group. This is something that we want you are asked to give of your time and your talents to help others in need. And I think more so now than ever, that is an essential part of helping us through what we've dealt with over the last 15 months. Talked a little bit about it at award ceremonies, but our society, our world, needs you more than ever. They need you to be willing to give the best and the most ultimate gift that you have, and that's your time and of yourself. So in service of others, that's going to be a big focal point for what we do in our building next year. It's going to be a big focal point of what this organization is, helping others and be of service to others. So character and service are a big part of the National Honor Society, and I think just a little bit about what that means to me. So have a great night. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Christy Rath to talk a little bit more, and then we'll get started with the program. Thank you.
Well, like Mr. French said, I just took over at semester, so thank you, both parents and students, for your patience. It has been a big learning curve for me this year, on top of just the chaos of the year in general, so genuinely, thank you very much for your patience. As we haven't been able to have a meeting with students yet, I will walk you through everything we're going to do for the induction as we go. Starting, our officers, Livy and Abby, are going to walk us through the 5 pillars of the National Honor Society and light our candles to get us started. Then our president, Olivia, will lead us through the pledge. So just sit tight for just a moment.
Service can be described in various ways. In our daily routines, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is an essential charge to each of our members.
Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with life.
Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes one person from another. It gives on individuality. Without character, one cannot respect oneself nor hope to gain the respect of others. Character is achieved, not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. By demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light by which we illuminate the future. We have the charge to continually expand our world through the opportunities inherent in knowledge.
NHS members and inductees, please stand as I read the National Honor Society Pledge. In accepting membership in the National Honor Society, I pledge to uphold the purposes of this organization, to maintain my highest scholastic standing, to hold as fundamental an untarnished character, to engage in worthy service to my school and to my community, and to lead intelligently and selflessly. I will strive to make the ideals of the National Honor Society the ideals of my own life. If you accept the pledge, please say, "I do." At this time, the new inductees will receive their honor stoles.
All right, so you can take a seat for just a second. In a moment, I'm going to have you line up single file right over by Mrs. Painich and Mrs. Friedman, kind of wrapping around this way. Bring your name card with you. You will give, whoever comes to you first, you will give them your name card. They will read your name. You'll proceed on stage where I will present you with your stole, and you can greet Mr. French with an elbow bump, a fist bump, something along those lines. As you cross and leave the stage, please pick up a candle from the box over here, and you will then kind of loop back around the pathway between the upper and the lower bowl. I'll then guide you through what we're going to do for our candle lighting ceremony. Okay? Okay. So feel free to line up now.
You're gonna head right that way. You're gonna head toward the blue thing.
And then when I get my candles, do I just go back to the seat?
All right, we're gonna start off our inductees with Alex Downey.
Abigail Placido.
Colin Gibson.
Sam Koffler.
Robert Becker.
Leah Heinz.
Mia Pellegrini.
Audrey Wells.
Gavin Thrasher.
Christian Wang.
Kennedy Campbell.
Owen Howard.
Kyrie Martin.
Justin Wilgen.
Taylor Wilgen.
Sophia Decker.
Mallory Crandall.
Drew Hovestat.
Jake Kavanaugh.
Isabella Dacoba.
Jasmine Crump.
Lily Malik.
Joe White.
Owen Hobson.
Benjamin Kim.
Harry Warford.
Dylan Shaman.
Andrew Gonzalez.
Victor Kalnins.
Genevieve Stacker.
Zoe Thomas.
Nick Redman.
Nadia Famiano.
Grace Freed.
Samantha Kilmer.
Astrid Code.
Ben Edlifson.
Mason Milks.
Angelina Baker.
Ella Radke.
Faye Scott Farnsworth.
Hannah Calloway.
Sierra Metzler.
All right, so our two officers, one is going to come to each end and they are going to light the candle of the person on the end. Be very careful because as you know, when candle wax melts, it gets very hot. The next person is going to bring their candle, their unlit candle, to the flame and continue moving until you get to the center. Okay, now you are about to become a part of the National Honor Society, starting with our officers on the outsides again. Each person is going to carefully blow their candle out until we get to the middle. Be careful because you have a mask on, and like we said, that wax is hot. You might have to quickly take your mask down, I'm seeing, to get some oxygen to the candle. Congratulations and welcome to the National Honor Society. If you would like to take pictures with your family wearing your stole, feel free to do so outside. I will be at the main table. Before you leave, please bring the stole back into me. I'll bring the candle box right up here, front and center. Please return those as well. Thank you so much for coming. You all, this is wonderful. You worked really hard during one of the hardest years of your lives. So congratulations, and thank you for coming.